Hello, you guys. Welcome to the Black Hearted Oracle. This is just a collective reading, one that I was guided to do, and it's dealing with what's going on in the world and what messages that, the messages that I asked to come through in the cards are from, this one is dealing with Mother Sustainer, Father Creator, and our ancestors. So it'll be a 4-part video series. You could take in whichever one you want, but it is a general collective energy read for us while we're in quarantine. Okay? Or if you're not in quarantine, it's just a general energy read for this time frame. All right. So what I asked is, what messages did Mother Sustainer like us to receive at this time? So before we get started, though, you know me, I'd like to pay homage and reverence to Mother Sustainer, Father Creator, and of course our beautiful ancestors, and my beautiful ancestors. Okay, so yeah. This is just a free spread, okay? It's based on numerology, though, okay? So, what we have cave, we have 12, the porcupine, overly sensitive to criticism. We have holds on to pain, avoid the world's chaos, innocent, faith and trust, imagination and fantasy. And it says, have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. So I'll just read a little bit of cave. Sanctuary. It says, as the sun sets, the crescent of the new moon appears in the distance as this ancestral human creates his art. Painting on the walls of a cave with colors drawn from earth substances. The fire warms him. The cave shelters him and provides a refuge from the rest of the world. With its womb-like structure, it not only offers sanctuary, but also serves as a temple that houses his creative spirit, which eventually gives birth in the physical form of his artwork. Okay? Now, I'm not going to read the whole card, but this card also speaks of finding that place for you in nature, in which I know a lot of us are under strict, like, no gathering and no congregating. But I don't know where you are, but where I am in the United States, we're allowed to exercise on our own. So that is how I set up for my sanctuary, and my time that I spent in nature to get rebalanced and drawn closer, okay? With all necessary precautions. But wherever that place is for you, whether it's your front yard, your backyard, your side yard, your balcony that you have plants on, hopefully when you listened to the other one, you had started gardening or even like planting, received like pots or something of plants, so that you could refocus within this time frame. Okay, so why is sanctuary here? Why is sanctuary here? Okay, see, and the fact that the porcupine has his quills, it just reminds me of social distancing. Like, you have to be but so far from, a porcupine. And it says avoid the world's chaos. So this is very important right now for us. And it says a new person enters your life, a relationship begins a new phase, heightened psychic abilities, intuitive, sensitive, and artistic. Okay. So yeah, to me, this is my apology card. So, I mean, if people are trying to get you to hang out and, be in large crowds, offer them an apology. Yeah, and work on whatever passions. Yeah, offer them an apology because you're busy working on your passions. Exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. Yeah. So find your sanctuary, that still quiet place within you that you can bring forth whatever creations at this time that you have time for. Why is the porcupine here? Yeah. Even though it's not time for any of us to take a leap of faith in actual moving forward, you know, it is time though to do the groundwork for these things. Why is have faith in your dreams here? Why is have faith in your dreams here? It says challenging information, delays, changes to plans, truth delivered without tact. But that was in reverse. Yeah. Because people are, you know, don't have time to be, like, I guess, because this is also the spying card. So it's like you don't have time to be spying on someone else's life if you're putting your time in your dreams, or to be caught up, like, in these back and forth arguments if you're putting time within your dreams. You know? Yeah. See, this is enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. But it's also reversed, and this is the single card. So, let me get one more. Yeah. This is the 3 of fire. So, this is abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. And that's also in reverse. So what I'm getting with this and this card, it's like people out there are really going through it, you know? Because these are all, well, not this one. But these are really good cards when you normally get them. And they're reversed. So it's like, I guess people are in this stage where they're a bit like panicked within themselves, you know, but it's time to refocus, you know, refocus. It's time to put faith in your dreams, like get your mind off of what's going on out there. Because these are really good cards in reverse. So it's telling me that a lot of people are under stress. Yeah, see, all the cards are coming out. Yeah. And they're feeling as though the scales aren't balanced and they're lacking justice in their lives. But as I said, it's time to refocus and have faith in your dreams. Regardless of what's going on the outside, seek your sanctuary. You know? Because the Ace of Fire is up. So it's an exciting new opportunity to really go within and bring out what you've longed to bring out to the world. It's not a time to sit in panic. And no, it may not be time to launch, but before you launch, you have to do the necessary groundwork, right? The lotus flower, unfoldment. 42, the bat. 8, the otter. And don't let your pride get in the way, full moon in Leo. And we are coming up on a full moon cycle, a Libra full moon cycle, right? So remember, I don't know if you've been to my channel, but if you have visited my channel before, you know that the lotus flower is my second favorite, well, third, oh, no, sorry, I'm lying, fourth favorite flower in the world. And not only for its beauty, but for the story of a lotus flower. You know, I represent very much with the lotus flowers because they are made out of the drudgery, out of the darkness. You know, they are made out of what people consider dirty, what people consider muck, like the gross things in life. But what that gross thing that people consider, it is actually transformative. It's actually life-giving. It's actually abundance, right? And sometimes we're going through our darkest days that we don't realize that those are the days that shape us. Those are the days that refine us. Because the lotus sinks to the bottom every single night. But it comes back up out of the water spotless in the morning to greet the sun, right? And with the bat here, it says, face your greatest fears. And it says, face the darkness before the rebirth, transition and rebirth. End of one way of life, start of a new life. And I laughed because, they said the thing that's going on in the world was started by a bat. So that's why I giggled when I saw the bat. But, and then otter, number 8, which is flow with life, unburdened, playtime, awaken the innocence, joy, curiosity, and sisterhood, earth and water, non-resistance. And then you have don't let your pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. So now just those messages alone hit very deep for me, because as you can see, the lotus flower is here, and it's telling you that no matter what we're going through right now, that there is a coming dawn, And though we might be sinking to the lower darkness right now, it's fine, because what's it's gonna bring you to is you having to face your fears. You have to sit with yourself, because where else are you gonna go? It's gonna be time for us to look within. And yeah, we don't want to face our darknesses. Yes, we don't want to face the things that we call our mud, our muck, our darkness. But it's telling you that it's time to do this, But while you're doing this, don't get stuck in the darkness, because you're going to rise up again. Mix it with a little bit of joy, a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of laughter. Be non-resistant to the things that are going on. And I don't mean like do nothing. I mean your spirit. Let your spirit be non-resistant. Flow with life. Make time to play. Awaken the inner child. Unburden yourself. Don't carry heavy loads right now. It says don't let your pride get in the way. Some people need to be in control all the time, and when they feel themselves slipping off of control, they begin to lose themselves within their pride. All right, so let's get into the messages. Why is the lotus flower here? What is this unfoldment? Why is the lotus flower here? Thank you. Yeah. See, now is a time for gifts of money, time or effort, a new career, receiving a loan, or paying off debts. So go with the flow of things, because they might be little gifts that come out of this. There might be new career opportunities for you that come out of this. You might spend the time realizing that, you want to do something different with your life, something more fulfilling. Because anytime that we as a species come face to face with death and reconcile that, then it makes us a little more unwilling to waste our time in things that don't really feed our souls. Why is the bat here? Yeah, life experience. So yeah, we're going through a tower moment right now. Something that has shaken up the way that we have done things for way too long. And it's a time that we are coming face to face with our own selves, with our own inner darkness, with our own things. We are all having a transition and a rebirth. And to me, it's been something to where the earth is splitting. Those that want to live, exactly, wow, and the Empress fell out, right after, right? So those that want to continue to live in the lower realms, they're going to do that because they're not willing to face their darkness. But the ones who are willing, what will happen is after this life experience, it's going to be a rebirth. This is going to be the birthing of abundance, you know, to give birth to your dreams, to nurture yourself and others. You know, this speaks about a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change, time to spread your wings. Yeah, because the world has been so stagnant and so caught up in one way of doing things that they have lost total reverence for Mother Sustainer and fully take her for granted. So I think this is a great time to give pause, you know, because it's the end of one way of life. Yeah. It's the end of not using the intuition. Okay, why is the otter here? Why is the otter here? Release. Yeah. The end of a phase or a situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. Yeah. Okay? So it's time to deal with the inner world and the outer world. And when I'm speaking of yourself, of course, you know? Yeah. It's time to look at things from a different perspective. Because as it says, we're ending one way of life and having to start a new one. I don't know who is going to go exactly back to the way things were within themselves after this, you know? Don't let pride get in your way. Why is this here? Full moon in Leo. And if you notice the amount of major arcanas, yeah, it's time to be more trustworthy and compassionate. It's time to be more respectful. You know, it's time to go back to our cultures. It says open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Charity work. And it's probably going to be a time where we're going to be needing charity work or we're going to be giving to charities, whether that be our time, our experience, or whatever, in whatever way that we can. Because if we allow our pride to get in our way, it's going to inhibit our powers to create, and it's going to cause us to be manipulative, you know, instead of being trustworthy and compassionate and respected and cultured. Yeah. But again, if we can rein in our pride a little bit and move away from false pride, it'll lead to our success. Okay? That's a lot of major arcanas, dude. A lot. Next message. Full moon completion. I'm just going to put all of them down. Last. Let me check this one. Okay. Yeah, so we have the last two. We have full moon completion, 21 the owl, and new romantic cycles begin, new moon in Libra. We have island solitude, and we have awaken, truth of spirit, 35 the horse, and we have you and your loved one are safe, new moon in Cancer. Okay. So I want you guys to be very observant of the full moon and new moon cycles, because as you can see, they're represented on the board. You know, the full moon coming up in Libra, and I don't quite remember what the new moon is going to be in. But we also have island solitude. Okay, let me grab the book. It says, you can now take pleasure in knowing that whatever you have been working toward has reached its culmination. It may have been a relatively brief cycle, or a much more extensive one. Yet, regardless of the length of time, you have arrived at a stage of completion. Let yourself feel the contentment and satisfaction in this accomplishment. It is like when you take a deep breath and reach the point where your lungs are pleasantly full and your body is ready to release that breath. It is important not only to enjoy this completion, but also let go and allow yourself to relax. Afterward, just like exhaling slowly and consciously, people are much too eager to rush to the next item on the agenda without giving proper time and space to appreciating and honoring the natural cycle of release that follows a point of resolution. Give yourself that time to relax and rest before tackling Spirit's next assignment. Again, a message of finding your sanctuary, of the otter, of being playful, to be mindful. Because I don't know when the world has been put on pause like this, in my lifetime at least. I'm not aware of a time. So, to me, this is a very pivotal moment for all of us, because the owl speaks of the internal voice. It speaks of extracting secrets. The moon and the night, magic, omens, and wisdom, clairvoyance, darkness, and prophecy, and the goddess Athena. Sorry, I needed some water. And it says a new romantic cycle begins. But if you notice in between this cycle of completion and the cycle of rebirth, of a new cycle beginning, there is some darkness here to be dealt with. But it also speaks of wisdom. So why is completion here? Yeah, Page of Fire, news of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. All right, so one more. Queen of Water, relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Take your care for yourself and others. So this is tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Right? So whatever cycles are coming to completion in your life, take the time to appreciate what these cycles are teaching us. Because we know that one thing we can count on in life is change. Probably the only thing we can count on in life is change. Right? So send messages of good intent. Send messages of love, of care while we're in this time. We're always complaining that we don't have enough time. And I guess Mother Sustainer wants us to see what would happen if you got enough time. If you had enough time to do all the things that you said you didn't have to do. And I'm not speaking to the ones who are still working at home. I know you only gained probably 2 or 3 hours, but that's still time you didn't have. So if you have time, and you always said, if I had enough time, I would do A, B, C, D. You have the time now. Be loving and compassionate to yourself. The Queen of Water can't love anyone if her cup is empty. Okay? So use this time to be loving and compassionate to yourselves and others as much as you can, even if it's just through the internet, even if it's through social media, even if it's through a phone call, a text message. Why is the owls here? The King of Water. Wow. Okay. Well, if this causes some families to to separate. I hope not. I hope you guys can use this time together to, gosh, this must be hard on a lot of people. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is a true pair, right? People coming together and loving each other, who are working together to build this new opportunity. You know, the power of creativity, recognition for high quality work, be a team player. And that's what this is called for, because the Libra deals with balanced scales. It deals with justice. You know, and these are it's a new moon in Libra being represented here. So it's telling you this new romantic cycle don't look at the word romantic and think like romance. You know, for me right now, this is for love, like what you love to do. You know, the Ace of Fire. You know, this is you guys working together as teams to build the lives and the dreams that you truly want. Now let's get Island real quick. Island solitude. It says you need to take some time for solitude, preferably in silence. Spend the morning, afternoon, or even the entire day by yourself, completely unplanned and unstructured. The bombardment of your senses by the noise and intensity of society leaves you on alert far more than is necessary. The vibration of millions of people's worry and fear throughout the world can impinge upon you and greatly affect you if you do not honor your need to pull back from time to time. When you have passed through any self-constructed barriers to enjoying the quiet peace of solitude, it will serve you best if you simply observe the thoughts and emotions that pass through you, especially those that cause shortness of breath or a quickening heartbeat. Remember that isolation is experienced not by choice, but out of fear. When you decide to spend time with yourself in solitude, however, you are choosing to once again find and contact and connect with who you really are. Wow. So, as again, it is closing how it started, right? Because you have awakened the truth of spirit, friendly and adventurous, new direction, wind, travel, power, freedom, overcoming obstacles, new journey, own freedom. So this to me is speaking the journey of the soul. You know, that our souls right now, regardless if we want them to or not, they're going to go there, okay? They're either going to rise or they're going to descend. But I don't believe that anyone coming out of this is going to truly remain the same. I think you'd be very hard pressed, because Mother Sustainer has now forced upon everyone a time of reflection. A pause. Like us Jamaicans, we like to say, stick a pin. You know? Just hold your horses. And it says you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. Right? Why is Island here? Strength. It says great inner strength, release harsh judgment, forgiveness, and compassion. Not only for others, but of yourself. You know, whatever it is, those thoughts that they say cause quickening of breath quickening of the heart or shortness of breath, you know, that deep darkness that no one wants to deal with, you're being granted the strength right now to do so. Why is strength here with solitude? Yeah. King of Air. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. Now, that is someone that's what I want you guys to focus on, the balance of mental and emotional considerations. You know, allow people the space to do the inner work that is necessary for them at this time. You know, it's time for us to be impartial. If we're working on our own stuff, we don't have time to call out somebody else's. Because we're all highly flawed, no matter how perfect the facade is. You know, so this time in solitude is really urged and being requested by Mother Sustainer. And it's a time to awaken the truth of spirit, the truth of who you truly are. Do your research, do your study, do your deep inner work. You know? The Queen of Fire, confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and your creativity. I know this card speaks about travel and freedom, and right now those things are being restricted, but the mind can take you anywhere. You know, it's time to figure out if what you've been doing for your life is really the life that you want to continue living when the reset button is pressed. You know, when the light is switched back on and energy starts to flow again. Are you happy? Truly? Are you really living the life that you say you want? Why are you and your loved ones are safe? King of Earth. A successful time to confidently accept opportunities you're offered. The Midas touch. And it comes with the Queen of Earth. So the family. You know, because this is the mother and the father. This is the family. This is the grounded ones. This is the woman, she thinks of generational wealth. And he, of course, execute the plans. Because it's a time to be responsible. It's a time to be practical. You know, but it's also a time to be thoughtful and creative. But don't lack your sensibility. Make time for those that are around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. We're all suffering. Yeah. Love. You know, this is still a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. So these are what we need to be trying to build.